What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming here, and I want to bring something interesting to people's attention. For the simple reason is there is a lot of misinformation and a lot of what I can only call propaganda going around at the moment. And that's all propagated by the Nintendo camp. Mostly the blind Nintendo fanboys who like to twist words and twist numbers and sales into, stuff that's not really true. But let's just get into it anyway. So you're gonna see, over the last week or so, ever since the release of Splatoon 2, that you've probably seen, or, well, you will see if you haven't already seen them, that a lot of pro-Nintendo sites, again, the ones that like to twist the words, the ones that like to use stats in a phony light, there's a reason why I mention that, because it is possible for there to be websites and people and places out there who can focus on one console or multiple consoles or multiple platforms and be fairly legit about it. And I say that as someone who thinks the gaming media is an absolute joke. But my point is that some of these places are completely twisting words, twisting numbers, and twisting sales facts just to get across some propaganda. A lot of the stuff you're going to see is that Splatoon 2 has a higher attach rate than Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then you click into the article and most of them don't even mention the specifics. They'll just tout certain half-true numbers and not give the full picture, because what they are usually referring to is that Splatoon 2 in this case has a larger attach rate to the Nintendo Switch in Japan only. That's right, in Japan only. Places like to say it's got the largest attach rate, bigger than Zelda and bigger than Mario Kart, but the fact is it only has a larger attach rate for the Nintendo Switch in Japan. Because let me put this into perspective for you. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the second best game I've played this year, and the game that will probably win most people and most places Game of the Year. To this day, the Switch version of Breath of the Wild has sold 2.76 million units. So it's almost 3 million units. 2.75 million units for the Nintendo Switch, versus the exact number of Splatoon copies we don't have yet. The ones we do have is that Splatoon 2 has a 670,000 sales figure in Japan only. So yes, while it is entirely possible that, who knows, maybe America sold 2 million copies and Europe sold another million, it is entirely possible. I don't think so, but hell, I know I didn't buy Splatoon 2. But the point is that a lot of these places don't cite that, and they will just tell you Splatoon 2, higher attach rate on Switch than Legend of Zelda and Mario Kart. And the fact is, they don't know that. And not only do they not know that, but they're using one or two specific cases, in this case the Japanese launch, to push their bullshit propaganda. And I know there are a couple of ones out there that will use an appropriate headline, that will go into the specifics in the article, but more often than not, I found more places that won't tell you individually that kind of shit. And they're using that to... Now, don't get me wrong, the Switch is great. I play mine all the time. And I was playing it earlier. And the point is that they're doing that to appease the Nintendo Defense Force, because the Nintendo Defense Force are all about stroking their E-Peens. And especially when it comes to Nintendo's home console hardware, which they've basically been behind in for 20 years, you can see why it's dangerous to have Nintendo fanboy writers and fanboy journalists. It's not legit and it's not accurate, and that's one of the many reasons why myself and many other people consider the majority, if not all, of the gaming media an absolute joke. So let's just wrap this up with some actual numbers and actual facts. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch, as we already mentioned, has sold 2.76 million units on the Switch worldwide. The Switch has sold 4.7 million units worldwide, and Splatoon 2, for all we know, has sold 670,000 copies in Japan. It's It's unconfirmed how many have been sold in America and how many have been sold in Europe. So that is all we know so far. So no, they're not going with their higher attach rate unless you're specifically talking about Japan. Because chances are you've been to one of these sites, and chances are you've actually already seen this, and you've seen this misinformation and propaganda spread around just to buff up and puff up the Nintendo numbers and stroke the EPs of the Nintendo Defense Force, who we all know are an absolute joke already as it is. So before we wrap up this video, I do want to mention again that I'm not bashing Nintendo, I'm not bashing the Switch, I'm not bashing Splatoon 2, I'm bashing idiotic writers, idiotic quote journalists unquote, and the Nintendo Defense Force. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about bullshit media articles and bullshit media outlets that do this kind of bullshit, as well as have you seen any that do this, and have you seen any that have also clarified that they mean Switch in Japan sales only, or have you seen ones with the headlines where they don't explain it, where they do explain it, whatever, in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.